Welcome to the BitCraft Bulletin, the official game development podcast brought to you by Clockwork Labs, the creators of BitCraft, and hosted by me, Percival. Dive into the heart of game development as we explore the creative and technical processes behind building immersive worlds. In each bi-weekly episode, we sit down with developers, artists, BitCraft partners, and storytellers to discuss everything from intricate lore and major content updates to the concept art and innovations that shape BitCraft's ever-evolving universe. And today, we're thrilled to bring you a special partner episode where we're joined by the talented Teloril. Get ready for an insightful conversation about their journey, contributions to BitCraft, and what makes this collaboration so exciting. Let's jump in. Today, we have a special guest, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves because it is a bit of a doozy. I tried to do it once on the stream and about passed out. So go ahead.
You want the full title?
I want the full title. I want to hear it again.
Okay. Well, my name is Tel. The full title, of course, is His Most Supreme Excellency, Eternal Lord Sovereign of the Celestial Realms, Great Emperor Lord God King Supreme of all known and unknown universes, Master of Reality, Wielder of Divine Might, and first of his name, probably. The short version, of course, being Great Emperor Lord God King of the Ottoadman Empire.
Well, I'm just going to call you Tel. I don't think I can do that
fine.
every. Yeah, I don't think I can do that every.
You're a
time.
friend.
Yeah.
Everyone inside the settlement must address me by the full title, otherwise.
Someone might get
right?
cramps in their hands trying to type that out. But yeah, welcome to the BitCraft Bulletin. This is episode 1, and we thought we would like to start this entire podcast off by bringing on a heavy hitter who has been deemed the guide guy, right? You're the guide guy?
The guide guy.
The guide guy.
100%.
Yeah. I'm going to let Tel go ahead and give you some highlights about his YouTube content style and what kind of got him into BitCraft.
My YouTube style kind of falls under trying to break down really complicated systems in ways that people can understand. That's kind of how I work into making videos for BitCraft, is that BitCraft is an incredibly deep and complex game, and they've got these really long blog posts and hour-long streams where they go into all these systems and visions and details, and I'm like, this game is so cool, and no one knows what it is. So that's, I think, in my experience with my my work in like information technology, I can break these things down pretty well, and I try to do it in a more entertaining way, because I think there's nothing more boring than watching a guide and you fall asleep halfway through. So I try and keep things a little bit light and easy to digest for people.
Yeah, you do actually do that very well, because I notice in your videos you make it entertaining and you don't really just drag it on.
There isn't something worth saying. I feel like I don't try and go into yap mode. I just kind of really just get the information out there as fast as we can.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to point out that you've made within your content that you've provided to the BitCraft community is your spreadsheets. Everyone uses them. If you guys haven't seen them, they will show you what is needed for the next tier. You can log it. Even Tavern Hold, we use it. So everyone is very thankful for that.
Yeah, so that was put together by, so the first one that we made was between one of my members of my community, Anger Wizard. Okay. And then the second one, which is the one that everyone's a lot of people are using now, the first one only did the first tier, like tier 2. So it was like an introduction. But then obviously, as you got to upgrade the tiers to settlements, you had to get even more and more complex with it. So Nilinka of the Trailblazers in Region 5, a couple of other people, Y Magnus and stuff in my community, they all put together an amazing spreadsheet. And I'm just the guy.
Yeah, you're just the guy.
Troubleshoot it. I'm just the guy. Troubleshoot it. Put it out there for people to use. There's also one of my videos on the settlement guide. There's a bunch of developers who made some cool tools for BitCraft as well, which I wanted to promote their work because they're way smarter than me, and I wanted to make money off their work. That's how it works in YouTube, right?
Yeah, that is how it works. Yeah, we all get paid off of somebody else. Now you guys got a little bit of Tel, and you understand the direction that we're going to be going. And today we're going to be talking about Tel's journey with the game, some memorable moments, favorite features, and some of their dream additions to the game. First question I really have, after the intro, is what first drew you to BitCraft?
I've been a MMO gamer for a long time. I'm sure many of the people listening have been. For me, this game is the big sandbox piece is really cool. So the one world sandbox, all that is fantastic. But also, this is kind of like MMO retirement for me. Yes. I used to do a lot of top end raiding and stuff like that, and it's like I don't have the time commitment to do that, especially if I'm doing these YouTube stuff and doing these other kind of things that I'm working on. I just don't have the time to sit there and do 3-hour statics 4 days a week to do top end raiding and a lot of the time, if you get into raiding and you only do like 1 day a week or 2 day a week, it feels like you get nowhere. And that's also really frustrating. So for me, being able to progress in a really casual environment where it's cooperative / co-op competitive, it's really nice. It's a good way to progress. I've also played a lot of Worm Online. I've been waiting for Worm 2 for a long time. This is to me is Worm 2.
Yeah.
And just last piece would probably be the fact that I love building communities, and I've done that with friendship groups and stuff like that, and guilds. I did a major guilds in Arcage, a lot of statics in Final Fantasy 14 Online, and it's just so those kinds of things I love doing, and this game just easily just kind of fits the bill for that.
It really does. I mean, I've pretty much almost same with me. This is like my MMO retirement. I've been playing MMOs my entire life, so I just needed something easy, and I can just kind of coast in, go in and out. So yeah, no, I totally agree with you. So when it comes to making content in BitCraft, do you find it easier to make content in BitCraft versus other games?
I've only been in the content space for about 6 months or so it's hard to gauge for me. However, I will say the BitCraft has been really easy to make content for. The screenshot mode really helps. There's not a lot of creator tools, but there's enough that I can really jump in there, get all the clips I need, talk over it and stuff like that. And I have a pretty good understanding of how the systems work. So if we're doing a guide video, we can break those down pretty easily. If we're doing a news video, you do those. They're pretty easy as well. So it's pretty cruisy. Not to say that there isn't a lot of effort. I would say that probably the big video that I did that has over 80,000 views or whatever it is now, that one probably took about 30 hours because I really wanted to nail it. I wanted to do the game justice.
Well, you did a very good job with that video. Everyone at Clockwork Labs loved it. I remember at TwitchCon, everyone had it out on their phone and they were just kind of watching it. This eventually led to your BitCraft partnership. And I do have a question there. With your partnership giving you developer insights and access to the devs, has this helped shape your content in any way?
Yeah, it's been good. I really appreciate Clockwork Labs' efforts to reach out to creators and help them feel involved and stuff like that. The game, I've said this quite a few times, but the game lives and dies based on its player base and community. This is a thing that we've seen for multiplayer online games for like ages in the industry, but this one really is in particular. It really needs an online presence and players. So they're leaning into the creators and stuff, which is cool. I will say making content has been really good. I appreciate the trust they put in us to, give us a little bit of information about how an update's going to come out, as well as receiving the feedback and our opinions on it. I would say that it's also a double-edged sword, however.
Yeah.
Which I think we'll see in the upcoming weeks. Now, I've only started making videos in the last 6 months or so, and I've been a player up until then, so I understand the player perspective quite well still, I would say. I haven't quite lost it in the sauce yet.
Yeah.
But when you're giving these creators privileges such as insight and foresight into future updates, that can cause some resentment in other players. So I'm actively trying to make sure I don't use privileged information to my advantage. And that's also something that Clockwork Labs, I think, will experience a challenge with as well, in terms of how players perceive that. The most instant example at the moment is the housing update. I did a video on that. I pushed it out right away. I got as much information as good. Some information, just to be completely forefront, that I got ahead of time. We had the codexes would be something that the players needed. So codexes would go up in price. I don't know if many people went on the markets to buy as many codexes as possible or not. However, what I did was I tried to, I did make codexes ahead of time, but I tried to give them away on my stream and stuff like that instead of try and make this big profitable journey off of it.
So my next question I have is, why do you think people enjoy watching BitCraft on your channel? Is it a good fit for your community?
I think a lot of people pop into my stream to get a little bit of game knowledge and insight. A lot of people pop in and say, hey, I love your videos. And I love making them. So that's pretty cool. Now, I try to have as much game knowledge as I have, even though I sit there at the scholar desk basically 24/7. And that's not exactly a secret.
I get that.
I'm most settlement owners, big settlement owners probably know a little bit about that. Yeah. And then people kind of stick around for the conversations we have. We talk about all sorts of other games and stuff too. I've got over 1,000 games in my Steam library, so we're always going on about whatever latest thing, a little bit of banter and just keeping around with the community.
Oh yeah,
So
no.
come for the knowledge and stick around for me. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably a question best asked for my community.
I'll ask them in your next Twitch chat. I'm like, hey, let me know what y'all think and see what happens.
Oh, you probably will get pretty.
Oh,
We have a lot of riffing, so you're not gonna get positive response.
oh, I know. I learned, dude. So you're fine. So, what are your couple of your all-time favorite moments in the game leading up to that? It's because you've played the technical demo and you've obviously played early access. What are some key moments?
The MMO player's favorite pastime is fantasizing about other MMOs and starting MMOs for the first time. So the initial land rush was really fun.
Yes, it was.
We had a spreadsheet and everything ready to go. It's kind of one that was jerry-rigged together, not nearly as fancy as the ones that we have today, and it's not nearly going to be, if you're listening to this 2 years down the track, we're using Excel, Google Docs spreadsheets. In the future, we're going to be using sites that automatically pull from the database. It's going to be crazy. We had everything ready to go, and we're just like, floodgates open. We all dive in on the server, and then just immediately trying to get the summer writs going, and just everyone like coordinating everyone. It was just amazing. It was complete organized chaos, and I loved every moment of it. And then from there, we have occasionally we do a tier push as we get to like 80%, 90%. It's like getting really close, so we start really engaging and pushing. And that's always been fun.
So it was like more like the community teamwork in the very beginning of just like coming together and snagging all that land. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So finding out where we're going to settle and just absolutely beelining it. That was a lot of fun.
Did you use the technical demo to figure out where you wanted to go, or are you just like, okay, we're gonna look at the map and from where we were versus? I
had an inkling. I wasn't partner or anything like that, but I had a feeling that the map wasn't going to change that much. So we found where Dragon's Head would be, and that we had a couple of scouts running around, and I was getting DM'd locations. I didn't want to keep it in public information. I wanted to keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
And we got there, and I slapped it down, and then I found out 2 weeks later that Giroud was going to slap it down as well, but he found that we got there 10 minutes before him.
We are going to do an episode with Giroud, and I'm very excited about that, but there was a rumor going around my region, which is Region 1, that you two were going to go to war. Obviously, these are just rumors, but that'd be a great sight to see. I'm not going to lie.
We have the least wars in Region 5.
Yeah.
Because we have the biggest empires. So, and we entered a big, like, agreement with the little sub-factions as well. And it's basically, we don't hit the little guys, and we don't hit each other. If we hit each other, then the other two will hit them. So even if we don't necessarily like each other all the time, we're in a massive stalemate that if one person hits the other one, we've all agreed to hit them. So it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm in Region 1, and it's war all the time. No one has messed with Tavern yet.
Region 5 just want to do... they want to be passive aggressive to each other. That's why we have a ton of drama coming out of it, but not war. So we've got the road incidents. Yeah, like we got the road incidents, the wall incidents,
well, explain those.
Please, like, well, for us, we had one guy that was like, he put a claim outside of our like right outside our gate, and then he destroyed our roads and kind of pointed to his claim, and literally the claim's name was save time and process here or something like that. So we're like, hey, that's kind of not cool. And then we built like a little bit of a fence on we pushed our land out, put a little bit of a fence, and then he got a little pissy, and then the entire region knew what he was up to, so it didn't work, and he ended up having to move, which was pretty funny. But we have a lot of stuff like that, but not anything like there's a big war going on.
Oh, you'll know when war is going to go on because you're going to receive a ChatGPT message of them declaring war, but in a more civilized way. And you're going to see nothing but foundry settlements. And that's just a settlement with a bunch of foundries pumping out capsules. Now we're going to talk about some encouraging stories with BitCraft, like unique features and everything like that. What would you say is your most encouraging story and one of your favorite features?
In Giroud's Empire, I don't think it was Giroud himself that orchestrated it, but there's been a couple of claims that popped up, and it was in the first couple of weeks. It's slowed down a bit now, but they had these really big community events. The first one was this big PvP arena.
Oh, I heard about this.
And this is really, really cool. We had we had Minch Carter show up as well. And it was just really cool. Now, when you look at the video, it's just kind of like dudes shooting each other with crossbows. It's a little bit boring, but I think that everyone coming together and just hanging out and doing this kind of thing was really cool. And then the next week they did a race as well. I don't know if it was like a triathlon or it was a race or something, but people were just literally just like a beeline sprint, and then they had like a podium at the end and stuff. It was really funny. And the cool thing is, leading up to those things, you know, these empires would choose their champions, and we focus on gearing them up for our PvP champion. We spent a lot of resources getting him the best gear possible, and we ended up coming second because of it. But it's like that we all came together to gear him up, put him in the arena. It was like 5 a.m. for him. He's like, I hate this, I don't want to be here. But he's like, go and then we came second because he was sleepy. But you know, that was really fun. That was really fun because it gave us all a collective goal to work together. And also, I love anything that brings you're gonna have your little secular groups, right? So you've got your empire, then your major settlement within it, and then you're gonna have little back and forth and region chat. But for the most part, you're gonna be isolated a little bit at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, other than the occasional trade stuff based on, you know, different regions have different resources, but anything that brings a region together like that is really cool, and especially when it's community made. I think right now, Region 5, that we have another one, part of the Toads, their Thunderdome, all caps. Every time you say it, it must be in all caps. And they're doing another fight arena thing.
So it's not Thunderdome, it's Thunderdome.
Thunderdome!
But I actually heard about that event, and we had people flock from Tavern Hall to go see it, which does go to show how important community events and community-made events are so important in games like this, and can even be hosted within our empires.
I still want to see an empire, and this is a call to action, by the way. I want to see an empire where the king is literally by martial art, like martial. They're a martial empire. So every month they do a big tournament and the winner takes the crown or something like that.
That would be a cool feature. I'm not going to lie. Where you...
No. Because you can do it in game. You just
I know.
Do it yourself. Yeah.
But imagine if you can just right click an empire. I mean, emperor, excuse me, and hitting duel for the crown. And if you lose the crown, you lose the crown. And then you have, like, maybe there's a timer or something attached. Like, you can't duel for the crown again for an actual, like, 2 weeks. I think that'd be kind of cool.
You can do these kinds of things and you just set your handshake on it, right? And
yeah.
Let's duel. I want your tower. Let's duel over it.
Yeah. It's
I don't want to go to war with you. Let's just do it. Let's fight it out. Let's get our feelings out on the field, and then we're good. We've settled it.
We're gonna dive into your favorite features. What are some features that keep you coming back?
The player marketplace and the trading is really cool. I think the economy is flourished now. I don't need more advertisements for Dragon's Head, but we do have the largest marketplace in the game, and I love marketplacing and trading and stuff like that. So that's a boon. The unfortunate part is I don't get to play with it.
Yeah.
The burden of the crown is heavy and I can't do the cool things, but there are some people who have there's one player who has made literally 3 million hex coins at Dragon's Head. He hasn't donated a cent, by the way.
Call him out. What's his name? What's his in-game? No, just don't do that. Don't do that.
It's not hard to find. He's got like 1,000 epic tools. Just straight gambling and playing the market and doing that kind of thing. If I was a solo player, the fact that you can go into a settlement and play their market and do these kinds of things, you can go to other markets, buy stuff, bring it back, arbitrage. I think that's really cool because even though it's a big community social blah 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 game, you don't have to play with the other people. Some people they're very introverted people as well. I play with a lot of introverts in my friends groups, and it's like they play these MMOs not because they want to play with big groups of people all the time, but because they want to play around people.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a difference with that. So sometimes they just want to play on their own, but be around people and that kind of thing. So that's really cool. And I tried to build Dragon's Head in a way that supports all these different types of play styles. And I think that's kind of why we grew the way that we grew as well.
BitCraft is developing a pretty diehard community. Why do you think that is?
I think that the game has special sauce. I think it's done something really well. If you look at the player retention in Steam charts for this type of game, usually what happens is the game launches and we hit like 4.5. I follow the charts all the time because I love data. It comes with the trading thing and the spreadsheets and all that stuff. But if you look at the launch of the game, it hit like 4,500 concurrent players, which for an air quote indie developed MMO, it's actually really good, especially for one world, one server. It feels really, really alive. But the really interesting thing is it's stayed above like 3,000 even a month in.
Yeah.
And normally what happens is the game comes out 4,000 players and then it'll drop off in about a week or two as the hype dies down to 2 or 1. What I suspect and what I've been saying on my streams and stuff like that is that this game is actually something that people have been looking for a while, and a lot of people have fallen in love with it. So I think the retention's higher than usual that you see for these types of games.
Yeah.
I often say that this game is best described as Albion Online without PvP, and some people will go ugh, and some people will go, oh my god, finally. And those people are the ones that are falling in love with the game.
Kind of had the exact same response. It's Albion Online, but there is no one really ganking each other. It's pretty much everyone. Yeah, they're actively working together. So yeah, no, that is 100%. The way I would describe it.
Yeah, and I think it serves the game really well, and I think there's a core audience there that's just really high. As long as the update cadence, which has been fantastic by the way, as keeps going, I think it'll stay like that. I am expecting 100% to dip down, but you will probably dip down to a core audience. I initially expected a core audience of only 1,000 daily concurrents, like 1,000 peak to daily concurrents at the same time. It's not exactly 1,000 players, but it's like on American on peak time it's 1,000, then it dips down to 500 or so is what I kind of expected, but we've stayed way above that.
Yes, we are.
And yeah.
BitCraft is still evolving in early access. If you could wave a magic wand, what are 3 features you'd love to see added to the game?
Okay, so you're giving me a magic wand, right?
I'm giving you a magic wand. You know what? If you want to visualize it better, it's Stellar Moon. What is it? Not Stellar Moon. Sailor Moon. It's Sailor Moon's magic wand.
That's great. That's a really good look for me.
Yeah.
But the reason I ask is because if you're gonna give me wishes, I'm gonna go big.
Yeah, I'm not giving you a genie. I'm giving you a wand.
So settlement engagement I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
More ways to engage with the settlement that isn't just discords. At our size we have air quote 400 people in the Empire. That's not exactly true because a lot of people have joined and then gone offline and stuff like that, but for the most part we have genuinely like 100 plus people in our settlement all the time, and they're not all in Discord, and I don't want to force everyone to interact in Discord as well. So in-game notices, in-game boards, things that can be physically placed, not just in a menu somewhere, I think would be really cool. I don't know if it's possible to do some kind of like in-game forum, if that would be like too weird.
I agree with you there, because I brought up a town board before. It can be placed in a settlement, and it has settlement Empire news with a notification system that pops up very similar to the notifications when someone joins or leaves an Empire. People can walk up, view recent news, and this is obviously for people who don't want to join an Empire or settlement's Discord. So yeah, no, I agree with you on that one.
Because like one thing that we do in Dragon's Head is, if for the most part, if you are a claim member and we see your name around, or you're a part of the Empire at least, we offer effectively free tool upgrades. We just ask for a token payment to keep for our blacksmith's time, but we take a ton of donated resources all the time, so we use those resources to try and get the whole tool upgrade thing. Now, when you're working in a claim with 10, 15 people, it's obvious. You just go to the blacksmith and get your thing. But at our size, it's like, how do you facilitate that? So we've offered a service, and not everyone knows about it. So this kind of thing would be really useful for that.
Yeah, well, now they'll know.
Would hate me for that.
Promote it on the podcast, like, hey.
Yeah, now I'm going to have people coming from Region 2 saying, hey, I heard there's free tool upgrades.
Guys got free stuff? I want free stuff.
Wish 2, large community projects that aren't just tearing up a settlement. And I don't even just mean housing. I mean bigger than that.
Give me some examples. I would love to hear it.
Okay, so I think this was a joke. I don't know if it was a joke. It's just the first thing that came to my head. I swear to God, the ego thing is a joke. It's a bit. It's a gag. But in Worm Online, you can build giant colossi statues of different gods and stuff like that.
You want to statue yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
And you want people to build it. You don't want to build it. You want people to build it. You want people to resurrect the statue.
I'm a scholar. I'm a guy with a desk with a quill, man.
You can start working on construction. Get out there. Start hammering stuff. Nah, I agree with you. I actually think that'd be sick. But I mean, so it's kind of crazy though.
Maybe you could build like a mine or something like that, some kind of community project, like because you can't build mines. They have to be naturally occurring at the moment. Yeah. So, but maybe it would be a really hard thing to do, or some way to progress your settlement that isn't just tiering up, which I know that they're probably working on. I don't have any ideas at the moment off the top of my head. I'm sure people leave comments on this podcast.
Yes, they can.
That might be a good. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, leave some comments. Let us know your think some thoughts, and once you've thunk those thoughts, let us know those thoughts. We would greatly appreciate it.
That reminds me as well. One thing I thought of a while ago is like our audience, like for BitCraft Online, is incredibly nerdy. So
yeah,
if you add this, you will win their hearts. But trains, man, between two different settlements, like imagine there's a big train between like Tortuga, Dragon's Head, and Giroud, and you could literally get on the train and just like that would be insane. It'd be a lot of work, and it would inspire collaboration between the community, the different empires, which I mentioned earlier. And it'd be a large project that isn't tearing up. Boom, checks all the boxes.
Maybe
industrialization. That's what we need.
Yeah, we need industrialization.
We were told in the trailer that we could build up civilization. I don't want to stop at this like cutting trees down and handiwork. I want to hit full on industrialization, pollute the planet. Let's just go all the way.
You know what? Even better.
The maker's back.
Let's start getting oil from the ocean, and I want to see those fish pods go away.
That would make fishing so easy.
Yeah, they're just coming to the top. You know, they're already dead. All right, so what would be your final wish?
There's probably going to be an endgame issue, I think, in this. I'm like way down the line. Let's say
at tier 10,
3 years out of early access. You've hit people have hit tier 10, right? Because once you hit tier 10, you hit a wall. It's like there's not a major thing to work on.
Yeah.
So I think some kind of seasonal content would be really useful for this game. I think it would serve it really well.
Okay.
I thought maybe something like a seasonal region. Maybe we discover some fog disappears, and then we see a new region pop up, and we can go over there for a limited time. Maybe there's lots more enemies there, so it's going to inspire a lot more collaboration. We can bring our equipment over, but we kind of have to start fresh. So we keep our characters, we keep our tools, but we still have to start settlements fresh. And maybe might be special mechanics in those regions too.
Yeah.
So like one thing that Worm Online does is a place called Jackal. It's like a really hostile world that spawns enemy rifts, and like these monsters pour out of them and stuff like that, and you constantly have to defend yourself while trying to build a settlement. This kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. Maybe a regional land would be really cool.
Ultimately, any kind of seasonal content that will help keep the players engaged and coming back and logging back in is going to be really, really important once they've fleshed out all the stuff over early access.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a priority because people will win the game in the current state. If
any of these features that you listed, they added them in, how would you showcase them on your channel? Do you have any like dream video ideas for this kind of stuff?
Seasonal regions, definitely. That'd be really cool because it could be a recurring kind of thing.
Yeah.
We could talk about new season stuff like that. You can look at any like Path of Exile and kind of stuff. You see that kind of stuff all the time. That's really good because you can just add little tweaks to a new season, and it keeps people coming back, keeps people coming back to the channel, see what's going on. That's kind of cool. And yeah, large community projects, that could be a thing too. But yeah, with BitCraft, I probably won't be doing too much narrative style content. I don't find either I don't have the capacity to do it, or I'm not sure that the game is interesting enough unless you're playing it. It's one of those games that you have to actually play and engage with rather than just watch someone play.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I could do some interesting narrative style stuff with BitCraft.
So last question I have for you, your overall vision of BitCraft. If you could just shape it and add whatever you can, this is outside of your 3 wishes, just shape BitCraft and your perfect vision of the game, how would that look?
We definitely need to stay the path. I'm not like Clockwork Labs glazing and this and that, but I like stay the path. Don't go too crazy with PvP, which they're aware of. They know their audience, and touch as many different little things in the different hearts of MMO players as they can. So housing is a great example. Doing a little bit of PvP. Dungeons up next is really good. Get those PvE players going. I have like literally 3 people in my Discord all the time talking about they don't do anything except Slayer. And I have like tier 7 epic gear, armored across the board. They're gonna walk in the first dungeon they get and solo it, by the way. And it's like, keep those players happy, right? Get a little PvP, keep them happy. Keep staying the path, keep fleshing out those pieces of content, keep fleshing out those tiers, and I think there's something really good here.
I agree completely.
I don't think I could add anything that would change it. As long as we keep focusing on that community stuff that we're doing, it's really good.
I agree. And to me, the only thing I would say is, give me all those pets. I'm out here digging in sand, fruitless flags.
Just rares across the board, tons of rares. People just chase items and rares. It's so easy to make. Slap a 1 in a million drop chance on something, you'll keep someone happy.
Oh yeah, they'll be out there doing.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't.
God.
Someone is not going to sleep. Thank you so much for answering all these questions and coming on to the first official episode of BitCraft Bulletin. It was great to have you and great to have a conversation with you. Real quick, I would like you to kind of plug everything you can.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. My best content and my best foot forward is always going to be on youtube.com/@Teloril, or just search for Teloril, Teloril. I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Fridays in the mornings for the Americans and the night times for the Australians, with the occasional weekend there as well. And we are Ottoadman Empire, located northwest of Glintmore at Dragon's Head. I'm sure you've heard of Dragon's Head. We have the stupidest market prices in the game. Everything is so expensive. It is like I'm living at home in Sydney. It is just ridiculous. We can't even afford housing. It's crazy that I go into a video game and live just real life again. Thanks, Clockwork.
Those rent prices.
And if you don't know what BitCraft is, I have a great video on it. It's everything about BitCraft, or the BitCraft Online breakdown. It's going to give you in my opinion, the best introduction to the game that I could possibly create for anyone. It really shows what the game's about.
And that is a wrap for today's episode of the BitCraft Bulletin. A huge thank you to Teloril for joining us, and don't forget to tune in every 2 weeks for new episodes where we'll explore more behind-the-scenes stories, updates, and exciting developments from Clockwork Labs. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to subscribe to the BitCraft Bulletin on your favorite podcast platform, leave us a review, and join the conversation on our social channels or the official BitCraft Discord. Until next time, keep crafting your adventures, and we'll see you in the world of BitCraft.